After 6 years of renovations, the scaffolding on Peyton Whitney Gym has finally come down. See what renovations were done and what Yaleys can be excited about.
Also, YTV took a tour of West Campus, exploring how it works and what it has to offer Yale students.
Stay tuned for these stories and more. It's your Yale, your week, and your news. Hello, I'm Michael Leopold and you're watching YTV. We'll start by going to Kate Walker in the newsroom, filling in for Stefina Yulee.
Thanks, Michael. Just 1 year after welcoming a new dean, Timothy Dwight students will also be opening their doors to a brand new master. TD Master Jeffrey Brenzel announced in an email Friday morning that he will not seek to renew his appointment after his 5th year as master. Instead, he will be stepping down at the end of June. In his email, Brenzel did not specify whether he plans to remain at Yale after this year, but hopes to make a decision about his future plans by January. TD's new master will start his or her term in fall 2015. On Tuesday, the Yale community gathered on Beinecke Plaza to remember its veterans. Those at the ceremony said the turnout was the largest they had seen in the past few years, especially in terms of non-military attendees. Speakers at the ceremony included University President Peter Salovey, Senator Richard Blumenthal, as well as members of the Yale community who have served. The ceremony was followed by a screening of Millionaires Unit, a documentary which tells the story of a group of Yaleys involved in a founding squadron in the U.S. Naval Reserve. This year also marks the 100th anniversary of the First World War. Construction on the new residential colleges seems to be ahead of schedule. While Provost Benjamin Pollock had announced that the university would formally break ground on the colleges in February, one construction worker told the news that for the past 3 weeks, workers have been on site and construction has started for the new buildings. However, university spokesman Tom Conroy said there is preparatory work underway, including fencing work, but denied that this constituted the official groundbreaking of the colleges. The assault of a student in Morse College 2 Saturdays ago has led some students to question their safety. The incident happened during Halloween weekend after residents of a suite in the basement noticed a young man in the moat directly outside their window. When they tried to check on the person outside, the stranger tried to break into the suite. The student who tried to prevent his entry was assaulted and left with serious cuts requiring stitches. Students say the case highlights a larger problem with safety in the area, given Morse's proximity to Toads. Yale police have increased patrol in the area, but the investigation is ongoing. That's it for this week's headlines. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kate. Before many current Yaleys were even in high school, Yale embarked on a massive renovation project for Peyton Whitney Gym. Now that the scaffolding has been removed, we wanted to see how it looks and how students think of it. Reporter Annalise Morello tells us her findings.
This week, gym goers were in a bit of a shock because for the first time since 2008, the blue scaffolding was no longer on the exterior of Peyton Whitney Gym.
Peyton Whitney Gymnasium was constructed between the years 1930 and 1932. After being a cornerstone in Yale athletic facilities for over 75 years, the university finally decided it was time for a major facelift.
Basically, the renovations included a selective replacement of some of the stone on the exterior of the tower, in addition to cleaning of some of the stone with a particular cleaning method so that it matched.
Exterior surface was done in many phases, each lasting between 6 and 12 months. And while the university predicted that the extensive project would be finished by the 5-year mark, the university-funded repair took just over 6 to complete.
There are a lot of junior events here that I played when I was younger, and if I'd been playing here for upwards of 7 years, I don't think I've ever seen the gym without scaffolding on it, so it's really amazing to me that they finished the project while I was still here.
The building had been wrapped up in blue for so long that many students were not even aware of what the building looked like.
Well, I didn't even know that it had a balcony. I feel like there's way more space now, which I just never realized.
I think people should be excited about, as in all, so many Yale buildings, is when you look up and you see the tower, look carefully and you'll see the detail of all the carvings and all the beautiful little figures that are all this building.
Some people around campus were concerned about the project exceeding its desired timeline. However, the care that was required when revitalizing this building was a difficult task for those involved. That extra time was taken to ensure that the details and colors in the building melded seamlessly together.
It was a painstaking process by the contractors to make sure that they got the right colors and a good matching stone between the new, the cleaned, and the refurbished kind of stone and grouting on the building.
Well, it really mirrors the rest of campus, and it's definitely a change. It's been hard trying to sell it to recruits, telling them how nice it is underneath when we actually hadn't seen it either.
It goes with the Gothic architecture that you see around campus, and it's definitely a very beautiful site and will be a very good selling point for people visiting the campus.
With the restoration now complete, you can be sure that students and tourists alike will be pulling out their cameras to snap some beautiful pictures. So the next time you're at Payne Whitney Gym, take a second, look up, and enjoy the view. For YTV, this has been Annalise Morello. Back to you.
Payne Whitney is open to visitors on Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And when you're done at Payne Whitney, you can check out a comedy show happening this Saturday. Whoever said women weren't funny never met the female comedians of Yale. For the first time since 2009, Yale's funny ladies are coming together in a showcase called That's What She Said. We go to reporters Nicole Daly and Dan Chow for more.
As Tina Fey famously wrote in a New Yorker article, only in comedy does an obedient white girl from the suburbs count as diversity. It's no secret that males are dominating the industry of laughs. Of the 12 that made it onto the Forbes 2013 list of top-earning comedians, none were women. But this weekend, the funny women of Yale are taking back the mic.
So I decided to sort of just bring together the two things that I got involved with this year, which is comedy and sort of women's things, women's issues, feminism. And I thought a great way to do that would be to bring all the girls involved in comedy on campus into one space and sort of have them showcase their different talents together.
Primarily, we really want to feature the really talented female comedians on campus because they really are doing really good work.
The showcase, aptly named That's What She Said, is a collaboration between the Yale Women's Center and comedy groups across campus, with the goal of not only providing humor, but also redefining it.
Sometimes this idea that women aren't funny, and I think that there's very clear and definitive proof here on campus that that's blatantly false.
As we're exposed to so many male comedians, we get so much of a male worldview all the time. Comedy from women is a really great way to just sort of get a female perspective on the world.
Participants emphasize that at Yale, the female comedic community is strong, an exception to the rule. This event celebrates that diversity.
As far as being a woman in comedy here, it's amazing because there are just so many hilarious females. And it's also great because I feel like women in comedy are very well represented here.
I think the more we see those happening, the more normal it becomes. Women are underrepresented in comedy, if not at Yale, then in the broader culture, and it's just important to recognize that and give them a platform.
The show will take place this Saturday at Sudler Hall from 7 to 9 p.m. This weekend, it's the ladies who have the last laugh. From YTV, this has been Nicole Daly and Dan Chow.
The performance will include members from Red Hot Poker, The Fifth Humor, as well as Sphincter Troupe, which is Yale's only all-female comedy group. For more information, visit the event's Facebook page.
And in other headlines, YTV went to West Campus and took a tour of the place that many students are unaware of. Reporters Anamika Viramani and Sophia John tell us more.
I found a surprising amount of people who actually know that West Campus exists, but very few people who've ever actually been there. Most people that I've talked to don't even know which bus lines to take to get out there. You have to take either the purple line from Cedar Street in front of the med school or the green line from Lot 22 behind KBT.
Yale's West Campus is a recent addition to the university's resources. Let's take an inside look. So where are we headed?
We're going to go first to give you a sense of some of the resources here. We're going to go to the Yale Center for Genome Analysis. We're building resources that don't need to be in the same location as everyone else. And this is a great example where this facility could be on the moon and people would want to utilize it. Right. We are actually in West Haven right now, but the campus straddles West Haven and Orange. This is the Yale Center for Genome Analysis, so it's a service core in that all of the instrumentation in here is of high value, both monetarily but also for research, so it's fundamental to doing all sorts of gene-based research. Okay. President Levin had mentioned this over and over again during the purchase, that this was the Louisiana purchase of Yale. It was an opportunity that we had to seize upon, but it's not one that can be populated immediately, right? It's going to take years to build this in the true Yale spirit. Overcrowded, we won't be for quite some time, and so the pace, our rhythm out here is different than downtown. So if you were to overlay the outline of West Campus to Central Campus, so to Yale College proper, we would extend from Chapel on the south side of the green, nearly to the Divinity School. This is a trend in academic building design for research, is to move to a more open concept, especially in multidisciplinary environments where you can't really build to suit because you don't know what type of work's going to be there, right? Called the Molecular Innovation Center. And to get back to your point about economics, it cost more to build this building. It cost Bayer more to build this building than it did for Yale to buy the entire campus. So this is a typical lab inside of a chemical biology institute. This institute is directed by James Rothman. Jim Rothman, who won the Nobel Prize 2 years ago, right? Physiology. Up here to give you a perspective. So the farm was built 2 years ago now. Hey, Justin. It was built 2 years ago. Justin Freiberg is our director of sustainability and also works the farm. But anyone can come from anywhere at Yale and come help work the soil, reap the benefits of that. And there's vegetables and herbs and
so the farm, the West Campus Urban Farm, is complementary to the main campus urban farm in that we offer a layered learning environment. It would be wonderful if more undergrads would come out here. If they come out and volunteer, they leave here with part of the harvest. We also hold happy hours out here at the farm. On Thursday evenings, mostly in the summer obviously when the weather's nice, we invite the whole community out here, the whole Yale community, so West Campus or main campus, come out here, enjoy a cocktail or two made from farm fresh ingredients.
For YTV, this was Anamika Viramani and Sophia John.
Yaleys who want to visit West Campus can take the Green Line shuttle from Science Hill.
And as always, we end with our Everybody Has a Story segment. This week, Cody Pomeranz sat down with Maureen Chiquet, the CEO of Chanel. Portfolio magazine once credited Chiquet with transforming Chanel into the single most valuable fashion brand, which has grown under her to be worth $6.2 billion. Here are a few highlights from that interview.
Maureen, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Well, in terms of protecting the brand, I mean, yes, it's a family-owned company, but Chanel is a very large organization. It's a global luxury brand. How do you stay true to your French heritage when you're spreading around the world?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, I always think about Chanel with this sort of duality of what I call depth and dynamism. So depth is, you know, you have a history, you have a heritage, you have a story in Gabrielle Chanel. And then you have, and those things have to always be in play, and they always have to be apparent whether you're operating in China, Korea, Russia, Brazil, around the world. But you also have dynamism, meaning you have to be up to date, relevant, modern, contemporary, and have things move for your consumer of today. So to me, a lot of my job is really about how you strike that balance and how you continue to strike that balance. In terms of remaining French, I think, and with sort of that French spirit, all of our creative is done in France. Now, we don't always use French creatives in the sense that we have, you know, for example, Baz Luhrmann just did our last No. 5 ad campaign. But there's a continual search for the essence of Chanel, what it means, the history, the heritage, and how you're making that new, exciting, relevant for women of today.
The last one, another brand, luxury brand that you admire.
Another luxury brand I admire. You're going to think this is a really funny answer, but it's the truth. Yale. I mean, I think that in so many ways, and not in the commercial way, but Yale is a brand. It's an elite institution that has incredible resources, incredible qualities, you know, vast scholarship, vast sort of places and things you can do and study, and yet it's in history and heritage, but it's continually new and exciting and doing sort of at the cutting edge of different things. So for me, when I look at a luxury brand, I think of Yale.
Well, now I know when I put on my Yale gear for the Yale-Harvard game
next
week, I'm going to be luxury.
That's right.
A luxury brand.
That's right. Go Yale.
Maureen Chiquet, thanks so much for joining us. And as always, thank you for joining us for YTV. This has been Everybody Has a Story. See you next time.
To watch the full interview, visit the YTV's features page.
And that concludes this week's news program. For now, take a first look at a new party app that some Yaleys are rolling out.
Thanks for watching. It's your Yale, your week, and your news.
From ragers at Toads to hanging out in a friend's suite, we all know that Yale has a diverse nightlife. Yet, finding out where to go can often be quite the struggle. Luckily, some Yaleys have developed an app to simplify that process.
Huddler is an events application that tells you which of your friends is at all of the different events that are going on around you. It's an event sharing platform.
So we're trying to simplify all that process and take out some of the guesswork so that you can spend less time communicating with your phone and spend more time actually at parties.
With Huddler, gone are the days of not knowing how to get somewhere or spending most of your night looking for some action. Instead, all you'll have to do is this.
Oh, you're at DKE? Where is that? Don't worry about it. I'll throw it in my Huddler app. Carpe noctem, as they say.
To spread word of their app, the Huddler team has orchestrated some unique advertising, which you've probably seen throughout campus.
I think probably the one that I heard the most about was turn left, turn right, turn up, or Carpe noctem is very popular also.
In the end, the app's goal is simple.
I think generally just making the nightlife scene a bit more easy to navigate.
It's about living your life. It's about enjoying every moment. So building something that is truly visionary and truly useful for people is, I think, really fun and probably the hardest part.
Released to a select few users at Spooked, a Halloween party co-sponsored by Huddler and Sig Ep, a fraternity on campus. The app is looking to move into campus life soon. For YTV, this has been Harrison Tracy and Patrick Sullivan. Party on, friends.